What is up, Sooner Nation? That's right. We're back 30 minutes early tonight because there is a heck of a lot to talk about in Sooner Nation. Thanks for joining us on our Sooner Surge Double Trouble nightly episodes. See some of the usuals on here again, and there'll probably be more. There's a lot to talk about, Jay. Obviously, the biggest news, Ted Roof out, quote, mutually departed from the University of Oklahoma, chose to go their separate ways, whatever. But here's the deal, and I like what Bobby says here. I'm just going to start off, Jay. While I didn't know at the beginning who this guy exactly was, the pitch has been delivered to the plate, and Brent Venables has knocked it out of the freaking park on this one. In my opinion, this is a home run hire. If I went and watched some interviews with this guy, Jay, it is Brent Venables, a 29-year-old Brent Venables. He said Brent Venables is a father figure. Everything he does, he wants to imitate BV. That obviously that's what Brent Venables wanted.
Yeah, but I also, as I read more about this guy, I'm wondering why this guy wasn't hired two years ago.
That's the big question.
And nobody can say Ted Roof was it turns out now Ted Roof, after 2 years, not a good hire. You already got rid of him after 2 years. That's not a good hire. Now I think Tanya, awesome. Appreciate you. Good evening, Tanya. Hope you're doing great. Thanks so much for the super.
Thanks, Tanya. You're superstar.
Hey, but this guy, I'll wait till later on. Hey, who switched our screens?
Someone asked them to. They're used to me being on this side.
Okay, I guess that's okay. This guy looks like a clone, like you said. Have you ever seen the movie Avatar?
No, I refuse to watch it.
It's almost like BV's been kind of making this clone for a few years, and now he's coming out the woodwork for SEC play, baby.
Hey, listen.
Hey, wait. Jen Kane, I want to address this. Wow, that was quick. You're right, which tells me this has been in the works for a while, and he already knew what was going on. Brent Venables knew this was going to happen.
Hey,
3 weeks ago, probably.
Agree, but let's just, again, OU football has not reportedly totally announced this hire yet. It seems like it's, 99?
It's pretty much a done deal.
Pretty much a done deal, but poor Purple Orca says that Ted Roof was an experienced guy, and I agree. He had a heck of a lot of experience, but it didn't pan out. You're rolling into the SEC with Seth Luttrell and Zac Alley. That dude, I don't think anyone would have ever thought this would happen.
Hunter, that's garbage what you're saying right there, because at that same time, I know what you're talking about, but at the same time, that same weekend, when I was on Flight Tracker, I saw many flights from Alabama, Jacksonville State, and I thought, who could this guy be? Never crossed my mind that it would be Zac Alley, a defensive guy. I don't think anybody did. Anybody can get on the message board and post stuff. Doesn't mean they knew it. It was a shot at the wall probably, but yeah, random scoop poster got it right, I guess.
Hey, yeah, Nick Scorton, Bobby Wiley. Nick is gone. He committed to A&M. OU does land the edge rusher out of Miami of Ohio, Caiden Woullard. I think it's a really good get as far as depth piece. I don't know if he's going to push for the starting job. He did have 9.5 sacks. It was at the Miami of Ohio University, but I think it's a depth piece, like we've said. And look, here's the deal. Yeah, it does look like a little bit of a Dan Cody. I can take that, and I love Dan Cody. He was great, but this hire, Jay, Zac Alley, again, he's young. He knows exactly what BV likes. I absolutely think Brent Venables is going to hand him the keys. And let's be honest, guys. He is setting his, I guess you could say son, even though it's not his son, but it's pretty much his. I mean, like it is his.
It's almost like a father-son thing here.
And he set him up perfectly. He set him up and said, "Here it is, buddy." And almost like what Stoops did at Lincoln Riley.
Well,
what he did Lincoln Riley.
Let me give you a comparison. And I know a lot of people think, well, this guy's only coached at Jacksonville State, wherever he's been. But listen, Dan Lanning, Kirby Smart, those guys, when they started as DC guys, Dan Lanning was super young. He turned out to be pretty dang good.
Hey, Jay, let me tell you something about Dan Lanning and Kirby Smart that this guy has on him. This guy, Zac Alley, was actually the youngest ever coordinator in FBS history.
I agree. And here's the thing.
Even while they were young, he was younger and he got a job quicker.
Well, and it's a really easy for him to kind of go in there and just kind of get used to everything. When you got Todd Bates, Miguel Chavis, guys he's worked with, Brent Venables, he's going to walk right in there. And what he's going to do is, yes, he's a Brent Venables disciple. But Jeremy, and this is not a knock at all on Brent Venables. I think it's more of a praise to him. As guys get older, like Brent Venables, there's some youngsters that come around. They run the same system, but then they got different ideas that maybe even more useful, better. I'm just saying, sometimes it's good to have new, young ideas. And here's another thing that nobody's really talked about yet. Where's he been the last few years?
Jacksonville State and ULM.
Yeah. Where's that?
Oh, it's in the Southeast Conference.
Where's he been recruiting the last few years?
Not Southeast Conference, but Southeast
Where's
America.
he been recruiting? Exactly.
Yeah.
He's got relationships with guys already.
Yeah, he's going to be an elite recruiter. Dalton, yeah, there are a lot of people questioning Ted Roof. We all went along with it and said, okay, Brent Venables wants his puppet. His puppet was there. I think the fact that if you read what Brent Venables said to Ted Roof, this is what he said, and I'll paraphrase it, but this is pretty much exact quote. I am going a different direction. If you want to be on staff some way, an analyst, I'm going a different direction. Here's what I'll say about this. Brent Venables has made the transition.
I agree.
From being kind of the loyal friend to being the guy that's got to make decisions.
Hey.
He's transitioned and he's building this program the way he wants to build it. I think it's something special. And I'm sorry if I sound too excited or a sunshine pumper. And I know he was at two small schools, but he was 27 years old. Terry Bowden, okay, is who he coached under, and Rich Rodriguez. Those guys know football, so he's been around some guys.
And by the way, this is a quote from an article. I'm paraphrasing a bit. Terry Bowden called Dabo Swinney and Brent Venables and asked them, who should I get as far as defensive minds? Who's the best young guy out there? And they said, it's this guy, Zac Alley. You need to hire him. He's that good. And here's the thing about Ted Roof that's not even comparable to this Zac Alley guy. I think where Ted Roof probably lacked was recruiting. And this guy's not going to lack in recruiting, I promise you.
We don't know Ted Roof lacked in recruiting. We do know his name wasn't mentioned a lot with the recruits. Chuck, I'm saying Ted Roof was a puppet.
Hey, here's another thing about
the new guy. Not the new guy, Chuck.
I lost my train of thought. Go ahead.
Now, the new guy's not a puppet. I think the new guy is the twin, the clone of BV, but he's not a puppet. He's going to be are you saying why do I think Ted Roof was a puppet? I think Ted Roof was a puppet in the fact that I think BV pretty much was doing too much, had his hands in everything, because I don't think he solely trusted Ted Roof. I think he fully trusts this guy.
And that's where I'm going with this Zac Alley thing, is I think this year you're going to see the first time where Brent Venables is more of a head coach. I think he's going to have his hand in the defense. Don't get me wrong. But it's not going to be on game day every play. He may veto calls, but I think he's given this guy the reins to go. And you got to have. I mean, this guy probably coming to OU could be there 3, 4, 5 years running the defense for Brent Venables.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Chuck. Thanks for being on here as always, Chuck. Jet, you have a great point, Jet. He's transitioned from the CEO. From whatever to the CEO. He's the chief executive officer here of the University of Oklahoma.
Ron, I disagree. I think he's handing them over, but he's handing them over, but he's still in charge. If that makes any sense at all, Jeremy, does that make sense? Like
it absolutely makes sense.
Keys to your son to drive the car, but you're still kind of there. He's there. He can veto calls, but I think he is giving this to Zac Alley because, guys, Zac Alley, 2 years as a graduate assistant, won national championships at Clemson. So, I mean,
Jay, look, obviously, Ron, we shall see. And what I think, I know Hunter, we were on
there. It is. Hunter put it in the chat. That's a great way to put it. That's where I think it's going, right there.
Yeah, and Hunter used a term earlier that I'm going to use again. I'm going to steal it from Hunter because Hunter's good here. Hunter said BV still has the right to veto anything he wants, but he trusts. And the reason he trusts him so much is because as Tim Ramsey says, I don't know if you're new on here, Tim, but appreciate you being on here. It's a great point. Zac Alley was basically raised up, trained up in the ways of BV. He knows what makes him tick. He knows what makes this defense really good because he's seen it. And if you look at his interview, when he's been asked, he says, I want to emulate and imitate Brent Venables. I want to emulate and imitate Brent Venables. I like everything about Brent Venables. He's the guy I followed.
And
he trusts him.
Zac Alley knows that 30 front really well. I'll just say that. Really well. And yeah, it's not going to change with this decision. I agree. Did you know that this Zac Alley guy also has a get-back coach? Very much like Brent Venables.
And he
very
probably
much
drinks
like
Red Bull, Jay. Why do you think I'm drinking a Red Bull tonight?
Right here, baby. Ice water,
hey,
baby.
Listen, I think we need to talk about something else. Todd Bates, Brandon Hall, two guys on staff, co-OC, Brandon Hall, elite recruiter.
Yeah.
I don't think, look, this is basically Clemson, Oklahoma here because those guys were all at Clemson. Brandon Hall knows the system really well. Look, BV's not stupid. Zac Alley was there for 2 natties at Clemson. 2 natties.
Yeah.
These guys have won with this defense. They know it's successful.
Yeah, and Jet, you're right. And actually today after we did our first video not too long ago, what a crazy day today. We were talking about guys and names to throw out there. And we're like, well, whoever they get, he's probably going to have to coach linebackers because that's what Ted Roof did do. And this is perfect. He coaches linebackers. He's a young, up-and-coming mind. His work ethic and what he's done for the last 7 years has been really good. I'm pumped. And I think this is going to be a great hire. It stays within what Brent Venables wants to do, but it gets a new, challenging mind in there to change that. It's going to be like Dan Lanning, I think. I'm not going to say Dan. I can't say it's going to be Dan Lanning, but I think it's along the same lines.
Jay, and look, everyone on here knows you and we're not sunshine pumpers.
I'm not a sunshine pumper. Let me say something right now. I'm going to. Well, I'll wait till you're done.
Hunter, Hunter never said as DC. Hunter was talking about as an analyst. And look, in regards to what someone else just said, as far as Gary Patterson, someone mentioned him. Gary Patterson would be an elite analyst. Bring as many analysts as you want on. Hunter never called for Mike Stoops as DC. We were throwing some names out there, Chief T-Bird, though. But honestly, this guy, it's a home run hire. BV hit it out of the park and then some. It's Roy Hobbs from The Natural. The cover came off the ball. That's how excited I am about this. The lightning struck. Roy Hobbs, kidney bleeding, hits it out.
Hey, but you know what's funny is on the same way as you're saying you're pumped, you could also say an hour ago you were looking up all the info because you're like, who is this guy? And then you read about him, you're like, this guy's legit. I mean, what can you say?
I have to do research, Jay. I'm not going to be a stupid person on here. I'm going to do research because I owe that to the viewers as well. William, Ted Roof. I want to buy the Ted Roof CD of telling Christmas stories, okay? He's got a bright future in that. Bright future in that. Jed is absolutely correct in the fact that this is the actual step I think people have been waiting on for BV.
Correct.
And listen, I'm going to tell you something. I highly think, we'll never know this, I think Bob Stoops might have had a sit-down talk with them and said, look, young guys are great. You've got to manage things now. I wouldn't be at all surprised if Bob Stoops had, not in who he was going to get, but the transition to the CEO mentality.
Hey, I don't think so on this, Chief T-Bird.
Great question, though. It's a
great question. I think Bates is – and I'm not going to speak for Bates, but does he even want to be a DC? I don't know. And maybe he likes coaching and developing defensive linemen. Brandon Hall has been a DC before. He came back to Oklahoma to coach there. And Hall is doing amazing jobs. Brandon Hall is doing amazing things at Oklahoma. Yeah. I don't know. I think this is a good fit all around, really.
And honestly – I think out of the two, maybe Hall might be a little bit more because he's called plays, but I don't think so. I think what both of those guys like, Jay, is the culture and family of the coaches that they're bringing
raising their family, getting paid good money. I mean, maybe they like that.
Someone, Tommy Reese, I'm not Tommy Rees, I'm not going to compare him to Tommy Rees. Tommy Rees hasn't panned out. This guy may not. I think it's an absolute home run.
Tommy Rees coaches offense anyway.
I would be just shocked if this doesn't work out. And guys, look at the defense they have.
Look who's
Look
back.
at the guys they have there. This guy right now is on a plane. If he's going to be announced tomorrow, he's on a jet plane right now. He's foaming at the mouth. He can't contain himself with what about he's going to step on campus with.
Hey, you know what else I like about this?
Danny Sussman, Billy Bowman.
Hey, I'm pretty sure, and Hunter, maybe you can verify this for me because I was trying to look it up before we came on, but just some stuff I've read about him. I'm pretty sure he's an on-the-sidelines guy. He's not up in the booth. I love that for defense.
Most DCs aren't in the booth.
Well, I love Ted Roof was, and I loved it. He's going to be on the sideline, getting into people's ears, teaching on the sideline. I think it's great. It's great for Brent Venables too. It's going to really, I think, pull some kind of stuff off him.
Bobby's right. I'm sure they're happy that they love the recruiting. And look, they're knocking it out of the park. They're doing everything for recruiting. That is unbelievable. So I think that's a great point, Bobby Wiley. There are headaches. There's a lot of finger pointing. And honestly, BV, the finger's been pointed at him. They're still going to point the finger if this guy doesn't pan out. This guy is panning out.
Hey,
I'm saying it right now. It's going to be special. This is special.
T Boomer says, so is this true? So this is true. It's reportedly going to happen. Yes, we're waiting on the OU announcement. That's all we're waiting on. But
it's not official, but it's unofficially official. How about that?
Yeah.
It's unofficially
official. It's a good way to put it. He was the DC this year. I think that's part of the problem, Copenhagen.
Yeah,
he's trying to coach a team, and you can be majority of the DC, but I don't know if you can call every play. You want to veto the call, but I don't think you can sit there and call every single thing and really have a hands-on. Look at Lincoln Riley. He did a great job of it at offense, but how did the defense do, guys, under Lincoln Riley? Not very good. Not very good.
T Boomer, thanks for being on. Purple Orca, it is. I tell my students all the time, look, if you want to do a good research paper, go to Wikipedia as your first source. That's funny, yeah. He's saying Wikipedia. It's a false. Anyone can put anything.
Hunter, as we're on here tonight, because we're going an hour and 15 tonight. We're going longer tonight for y'all. If you see anything, update us on it, Hunter, because I can't.
Hunter's going to. Hunter's the GOAT. Drop it in the chat, guys. Is Hunter the GOAT? Producing and getting this all going. The chats, he controls it. He does a great job for us. Listen.
Have you heard him talk? He talks like Brent Venables.
Oh, he's Jay. It's
the
guy's Brent Venables.
It's just like the movie Avatar, man.
I guess I need to go watch Avatar.
It's 4 hours long or something.
Yeah, it's on OU Insider. We know it's not official. It's unofficially official. It's going to happen, I'm sure.
But Matt Zenitz put it out. It's pretty official.
Matt Zenitz put it out too, yeah.
Yes. Hey, Mez, I want to get to this. I saw
this is great. This is great, Mez.
Because, yes, he won Special Teams Coach of the Year in football school. The guy, all around, I think he's going to be a great coach one of these days. Head coach. He's going to.
Oh, for sure. Trevor, I live in Sapulpa, teach and coach there in Sapulpa. I know. Yes, exactly. I do know you.
Did he go to Sapulpa, Jeremy?
I believe so. I've had several Pickerings.
I don't think Woullard starts next year. I may be totally wrong. I don't know. Hey, we also got to talk about it. I'm going to mention it. Oh, you got a kicker today. And I'm going to be the one to tell you I'm not excited.
Okay. He's a depth guy. 29 years old, Jet. 29 years old. And Woullard, in my opinion, is depth. I agree, Hunter. Look, Caiden Woullard had 9.5 sacks. You can't deny it. He did. The kicker depth.
Hey, Mass, you got a good – the kicker depth is needed because now they can throw the guy they got today. They can get Zach Schmidt, Gavin Marshall, Liam Evans. That's 4 guys. Somebody's got to be able to kick.
Well,
so,
Liam Evans was on Twitter.
There.
Liam Evans was on Twitter the other day practicing, and he looks unreal. Trevor,
right.
we're both
no scholarships.
Trevor,
I think Zach Schmidt is.
We're BA guys, graduated from Broken Arrow.
I think Zach Schmidt is. But now you can line them all up and say who's going to be the best. Hey, it helps. You talk about competitive depth helps a lot of positions. Kicker, if you know there's somebody breathing right down your back kicking, yeah, it makes a difference.
And the freshman's going to come in and just turn heads immediately. I do think.
Don't forget, Gavin Marshall was a 5-star Coles kicker too. So
yeah, Lone Wolf. We'll see if Casey Thompson comes in as a PWO. If they don't get Casey Thompson, they're probably not getting anyone else. Roll with Michael Hawkins, which isn't bad. Will Howard, as you know, probably going to Ohio State.
Hey,
official.
Hey, Will Howard. Since when did he become like this stud? He's not even that good.
What? Jay, they're grabbing.
I don't understand. I don't understand the love
for straws at Ohio State, Jay. And OU's over here with Jackson freaking Arnold. That's right.
And did you see Malachi Nelson where he's visiting?
Oh yeah,
Boise State, man. Wow.
I agree that the Liam Evans kid from Moore can very well be good. It's a competition. That is a position you need. I mean, so
Zac Alley, man.
Since when did K-State have to save Ohio State? I agree.
Think a lot of people thought Zach might come as a DC, and they were thinking Zach Arnett, not Zac Alley.
Jay, look, I did think Zach Arnett had a chance because he's coached in the SEC against these offenses. But obviously, the point is, obviously, what BV has said is, I want someone who knows my system. Hey, this system works. We can win with it. Stop questioning the system. Let's get guys in here who knows it, and let's roll with these guys that we have on the defense and go make a statement in the SEC next year.
Yeah, I agree.
Hey, do you think this, guys, honestly, do you guys think this? BV heard for years, year after year. Yeah, we started early. Sorry.
But we're still going. We're still going till 10:15, bro.
We're still going till 10:15. Hey, Jay, year after year after year, BV heard Big 12 doesn't play D. Big 12 doesn't play D. I think that there is still a little bit in Brent Venables that says, I'm going to go show them that Oklahoma plays defense when we enter the SEC.
Well,
I think that's on his mind.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask every viewer on here and put it in the chat. When OU hired Ted Roof 2 years ago, how many of you thought he would be the defensive coordinator going to the SEC? Most of you. I didn't think so. I thought he'd be gone, right? So so I think everybody knew this, and they were supposed to go to the SEC in 25, so he would have had another year. But I think with the SEC move, Brent Venables was like, it's time, Ted. It's TED Talk. You ever TED Talk, baby? He had the TED Talk with him.
Yeah. A lot of people.
What about the timing of it? Let me say something. If they would have done this 2 weeks ago or a week ago, do they get anybody else out of the portal defensively?
I mean, to me, Jay, that is the only thing. But I'm going to tell you, I think, what happened here. And this is all Jeremy talk, okay? So don't take it much. Bobby, I will say that maybe Michael Tarkin commits tomorrow. It'd be a depth guy. Listen, I think Brent Venables, after the bowl game, it was New Year's. After all that, he sat I'm sure there was evaluations, exit interviews, and it came up right then. He said, look, I've got to make the decision. He went home, he slept on it, and decided that, hey, this has to be changed. And a good leader, I'll tell you, I'm going to give you a good comparison, Jay. You talk about Avatar. What about the movie Moneyball? You ever seen it?
Yeah, I love the movie. Why?
I think BV is a lot like Brad Pitt in that movie.
Maybe so.
And the fact that how he's leading, he's making tough decisions right now. Guys that he was maybe loyal to, he's forgetting it. He's dropping it.
I think Brent Venables now after 2 years probably thinks
Billy Bean.
I got to be the head coach. I got to be the head coach. I can't be just over defense, just over. I mean, he's got to be the head coach. And now he's got guys on both sides. He's got co-DCs. I think he feels like he can be the head coach now. Yeah, I'm going to dally over here in the defense, but I'm also going to go dilly-dally with the offense. I'm going to be the head coach.
Hey, I agree.
All you need to know, Ryan Kent, about Zac Alley, it's Brent Venables' basically avatar or clone. He's one and one. I mean, he's just like him. So Brent Venables at age 29, that's what you're getting with Zac Alley. Go listen to the videos with Zac Alley. Go watch the tape of him coaching. It looks like Brent Venables when he was first at OU, 20 years ago.
Hey, Jay, man, I just freaking lost it of what I was saying about what you were talking about. Steven said that we got a commitment. Hunter, I've not seen that it's official about Tarkin.
I haven't seen anything official from there.
Hey,
And Jinx, this is what I'm talking about. Why didn't Malachi Nelson go? Why is he visiting Boise State? I mean, is nobody going after him? That's weird.
I think it's because Ryan Day wants a guy that's played.
Okay, but Will Howard, Jeremy, is not that good. Sorry.
Maybe he is in his system, Jay.
Hey,
Will
Todd
Howard
Bates
beat
ain't
OU
going
a couple
anywhere.
times.
Todd Bates ain't going anywhere.
Hey, Todd Bates ain't leaving.
Hunter says his mom changed to OU on Twitter. Take that as you will. There you go.
Okay.
Apparently moved to Norman.
Who? Are you talking about Tarquin?
They got a commitment from Woullard and the kicker today.
They got 2 commitments. The kicker, they got Woullard. Is it Kentley? Is that how you pronounce the kicker?
Yeah.
They got Woullard, and apparently, I think Hunter was saying that Tarquin's mom changed her Twitter picture. Are you saying?
Yeah, and ESPN just reported, I saw that they're expected to hire Zac Alley. So it's pretty much done deal.
This would be 4 gets today for OU overall.
What a slow day in sports.
What a slow day. It's always slow around it. Hey, here's a question I have. Does Jacksonville State or does Zac Alley, is there anyone that he's been in on that possibly might come to OU right now?
Well, it's a weird timing with the portal, Jeremy. Now,
I agree.
You do have the late guys that sign in February that maybe. But here, let me throw in.
Aaron Nolan. They do have Aaron Nolan. Yeah.
What does this do with the guy like Junjock?
Yeah, I don't know, Jay.
I mean,
he has not committed. I mean, they don't get scoring. Maybe they get him now. Hey, correct me if I'm wrong. Kentley was the backup at Florida State.
Hey, yeah, he was the backup. He never kicked at Florida State.
He never kicked.
Who are the 4 gets that you're talking about?
Woullard, the DN from Miami of Ohio. Kentley, the kicker, who was a backup at Florida State. Zac Alley, I'm saying, not a commit, but a defensive coordinator. And it sounds like there is some smoke. And when there's smoke, there's fire with Tarquin, the offensive lineman from USC.
Agreed.
So,
yeah, there's people in the portal breaking the LTV that have not committed.
But correct. You do have to, if you're going to be in school, you got to get there before semester starts.
If you're wanting to enroll this semester, correct.
And Jay, I do like the avatar. I like the avatar analogy with Zac Alley, and I like the Billy Bean analogy with Brent Venables.
I mean, I could see that. I could see that a little bit.
And I'll tell you even more about Billy Bean. In that movie, Billy Bean they're like, we can't afford all these guys. We're not going to do it. We're going to go win with this, this, and this. And I think BB's taking that approach and to some extent.
Hey, and let me say something about this comment, Mr. Chaz. I love the comment, and I think kicker is a total different position than guys in the trenches or even receivers or running backs. You're not up against different athletes. As a kicker, it's you and the football. Okay? If you can kick in Division 5, you can kick in Division 1. Am I wrong? If you can make 55-yarders consistently in Pee Wee football, whatever it is, whoever you play, it doesn't matter. You can kick in Division 1. It's not any different. The field goal uprights are the same. So I think, yeah, his previous stop, he was good. He was all conference. I know they were a small school, but
basically what you're saying is field goal kicking translates everywhere.
And here's the deal. Here's the deal. We talked about earlier with competitive depth. You got 4 kickers now. By golly, somebody's going to be kicking the ball pretty well, I would think, out of those 4. Surely that's going to make them better, if anything.
Yeah, and Hunter, you're right. That the pressure
I don't buy that, because pressure at those schools, for them, that's pressure, making the field goal.
It's not the same pressure, though.
It's not the same, but it's still pressure, Jeremy.
Hey, would Tarquin play tackle or guard? Yes.
Correct.
I'm going to say yes.
Correct.
I'm going to say both, because I don't know. I do think Spencer Brown's going to be the left tackle.
What do you think Ted Ruth? What do you think was his positives? I think it was a bad hire 2 years ago, Jeremy. Bad hire.
Yeah, Sexton will probably be left and Spencer Brown will be right, but I forget we have a right-handed quarterback this year. Tarquin probably guard. People are saying. Listen, Serge is right. Hunter's right. I think what Ted Ruth was a figure for some of these guys. I think he was a great relational guy. I think where Ted Roof wasn't great in is calling, blitz packages and other things, and picking up what the offense is doing.
Hey,
Maybe
let me say something about
making adjustments.
Hey, let me say something about the good recruiter. I don't know. I'm not on campus or anything about recruiting, but I'll say this. I don't know of a whole lot of people that said they came to OU because of Ted Roof. I know a lot of them that say they came to OU because Miguel Chavis,
Brandon Hall, Todd Bates,
Brandon Hall. I don't know a whole lot that said I came because of Ted Roof.
Selwyn said people loved Roof.
You're right. They probably loved Roof, but I'm saying he wasn't the primary reason for them coming. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, substituting the fact that everyone loves substitutes because they let you do whatever you want. I don't think anyone could say they had a bad experience with Ted Roof. He's that guy.
No,
great to be around.
I'm not saying that.
Great dude, but he ain't it here at the University of Oklahoma.
In the SEC, it can't. Yeah.
It's a Ruffin McNeil. It's exactly a Ruffin McNeil.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not sure on this Wisconsin O-lineman. I'm not sure what he's talking about on there. Roof should have not been hired in the first place.
It was a safe hire, William. It was a safe thing that BV did. And
where do you think they're at right now if they hired this guy 2 years ago?
There's no telling. I don't like to play those games. I think
you do it all the time.
Now, here's the deal. Why? I guarantee you there was part of BV who said, I kind of want to hire him. But BV's taken a brand new job, first head coaching job ever.
Yeah.
Would you give it to the youngest coordinator in history? He would have been 27 at that time.
Lincoln Riley was the youngest when he came.
I agree. I'm just saying, I think maybe why there was that pull.
Yeah, you're probably right.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Mez, you are right. Emmett Jones was at KU. There is a connection there. I would like the portal OT from Kansas.
Hey, look at the defensive staff right now. You got Zac Alley, Brandon Hall, Jay Valai, Miguel Chavis, Todd Bates. That's a tremendous defensive staff. And you got guys.
It's arguably one of the best in the nation.
And you're loaded at OU. I'm going to be very, very disappointed next year if OU is not. Top 25 and 30 in defense. Would you not be?
Oh, I'd be highly disappointed. Richard, Alley was not interested. They did talk to him. When? When did you're telling me BV went to Alley 2 years ago and said, do you want to be the DC at OU? And he said no.
Maybe he felt he wasn't ready, Jeremy. I don't know.
I'm calling BS on that.
You don't know that.
No, I don't know it, Jay. I'm just saying that.
Okay.
And you know what? If he did say he wasn't ready, then kudos to him. That's high integrity guy.
Yeah, and this is a great point, Selwyn. Great coaches always surround themselves with elite assistants, and that's what he's doing.
BV's not dumb.
And do you still think Nunez is a guy at the special teams?
I will say this about Nunez. There was some improvements.
Jet says BV tried to get him 2 years ago too.
And he said no. What was the reason? Jet and Richard Raines, can you help me here? Was the reason that he didn't feel like he was ready? Because if that's the case, kudos to him. High integrity guy. Or did he just not want to go be a DC? Because I find that hard to believe.
Sooner fan. I'm not going to sugarcoat things. I think it's been a disappointing year in the portal defensively, because I think when you look at the big guys that have been in the portal, the big fish, OU hasn't got him. Scorton didn't even make a visit. And I called that yesterday, Jeremy. I said,
I was wrong, Jay.
I said, he visits A&M, it's over.
Hey, everyone recorded. I was wrong. Hey, Richard. Now this is interesting, because if that's the case, I think probably he knew, because listen, BV reached out to Terry Bowden on behalf of Zac Alley. He reached out and said, you got to take a chance on this guy's DC. Basically, I think probably what happened then, I'm just putting two and two together, inferring here. He said, I want to be a DC, and BV said, I'll help you be a DC. I'll call Terry Bowden, go be a DC. And it's all worked. It's come full circle. The plan is in fruition. I think OU is in a playoff in the next 2 years. I think there's a high likelihood that they're in a playoff in the next 2 years.
Hey, what Sooner fans say is there about pass defense? Yes, 109th. And here's the thing. I think if you ask Brent Venables what he wants to run majority of the time, it's a 3-down lineman. They haven't been able to do it. You saw it more in the bowl game. I think they're getting defensive guys up front that they can maybe do that now. And I think you're going to see more 3-man front, which will mean you would think the pass coverage is better, correct?
Yes.
You got more back there, more athletes. So I think you got to – that's where you have to go. You got to try to run three guys down there.
Yeah, hey, Break It Now TV. Thanks. Yeah, hit the like button, guys.
Hit the like button.
Just hop
Every
off
night,
for a second.
we're on here.
Hit the like button. I also want to say, Silverman, you're right in some regards. OU hasn't played good defense for a long period of time. That's upsetting. OU showed a lot of flashes. They've seen flashes. They have not put it together lengthy for a season.
Hey, Hunter, I got to call you out on this. OU should make the playoff this season? That's a little much,
no,
buddy.
I agree with Hunter. If they can solidify the O-line, they should be a top 12 team in America.
Should or could?
Should.
Have you seen their schedule?
Yep.
So to be a top 12 team, they're going to have the most games
finish
they
in
could
the
lose
top 4 in
games.
the SEC. Top 4 in the SEC.
Top 12 overall, you can't lose more than 3 games.
Are they going to be in the top 4 in the SEC?
Well, you got Alabama, Georgia.
Okay.
I'm
not sold on Bama.
I'm not sold on Missouri. If I had to guess right now, I would say they're going to go 9-3, 8-4, maybe 8-4, probably 8-4.
Alan Woody's right. Alan Woody, Sooner Surge Unlimited member. If you want to know what that is, you can ask in the chat. But I agree. There should be a significant
Ole Miss
jump.
is a good team.
Tannick is a year older. These guys are a year older.
What I'm excited about is this Zac Alley guy coaching linebackers. I think he's got a young group there, and they're going to be really good.
Hey, Timothy, I was talking about Nunez earlier. There are some good things on special teams. One of the worst things that he did was some of the personnel changes.
Correct.
And decisions. So,
hey, listen, does it really matter how many players are down? I mean, they just reload. Alabama and Georgia are going to be there. If you guys don't think Alabama and Georgia are going to be in the top 4 of the SEC, I'm sorry. I need to get off here. Sorry. I'm on the wrong track.
I think they for sure are going to be. Georgia's got a pretty tough schedule. We can't stop talking. Texas is there too, Jay.
Correct.
Look, it's going to matter.
9-3 might get you in next year, I think.
Here's what I like about next year. They open up with 4 games that are just going to be a chance to get this defense and offense where it needs to go heading into the SEC.
I agree. And somebody put on there David Stone week 1 starter. It would not shock me with David Stone right now.
I don't know about week 1 starter, but week 1 player for sure.
It wouldn't shock me. And I just wouldn't be shocked by it. He seems like he's eager, man. Eager.
Most improved group next year, running back. It depends.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know what they're going to get with Javonte Barnes, Jeremy.
How good is Samuel Franklin going to be?
Well, I don't know how good Javonte Barnes is. So
I don't either, but I think Samuel Franklin can be
that
a guy.
Game, the Alabama game to me next year is the one that's going to make or break yours. I think you got to win that home game somehow.
Yeah.
You really got to win all your home games with the way their schedule is.
Yeah, I agree. Chief T-Bird says, have to be able to stuff the run. Yeah. I mean, you can blame the secondary all you want, but if you stop the run and you have pressure, the secondary looks elite. CJ, does Farouk come back? I'm going to say it every single night on here. No, he's not, but he probably will because I'll be wrong.
Appreciate you, Mike, as always. Thank you for joining. Really do. Appreciate it.
Mike's been putting out some stuff too.
Yeah, it seems like Farouk's coming back, I think. So
your Selman brothers thing, Mike, I watched it the other day. Good historical stuff.
Yeah. Hey, Germ, Farouk never left. Every day on here, you called every day on here he was leaving.
I still think he does. I think he'll leave.
In the spring?
Possibly he's going to get out there and see he's not going to play.
You are going to see some guys leave in the spring if they feel like they're not playing. That's going to be the next influx of portal.
And there's going to be guys coming in the spring.
I'm not saying just at OU. I'm saying in general. So, I mean, we'll see. What do you think of this Woullard guy from Miami of Ohio?
I already said I don't think he's starting.
But you think he'll play? He's only got 1 year of eligible.
He has to play. He had 9.5 sacks. He's got to get in the rotation.
I agree. Hey, I got a trivia tonight.
Hey, in just a second. Union and him are also pretty weighty, big guys. They could slide some.
Yeah. I mean, if you go 3-man front, who's your guy in the middle right now? Dejon Terry. And then you got Jaden Jackson and Stone. Those would be you got Kelly, I think, back too.
No, Jordan Kelly's gone.
Okay. I thought he had another year.
I think Farouk peaked early too, Chief. Look, Downs is probably starting on the edge. I would love to say PJ is starting. I would absolutely love that.
Yeah, and R. Mason Thomas has to get better there too.
He can be an elite rusher. He's just not a run stopper. He's not a run stopper.
What's up, Mark? How are you? Hey, and that's probably, I mean, that might be right in the 3.35, maybe another year or so before Stone can get there, that weight-wise. Maybe, I don't know. Depends on what they want to do with it. Yeah, Mark, we were just talking about this today. Jeremy, you remember our live last night? It was all about defensive coordinators, and then this happened today. It was kind of wild.
That's because the Sooner Surge viewers are the best.
That's right.
That's right. Say. Drop your trivia, Jay. Again, last month, December, Sooner fan, you can see it there on the screen.
Bingo.
December trivia winner. Congrats, Sooner fan. We got the early lead for Jay Jones, Mr. Chaz, and Mike, all tied at 1. Here we go, Jay.
Hey, 10-year anniversary today of guess what?
January 4th.
Joe Mixon committing to Oklahoma.
Okay.
Joe Mixon. Everybody remembers the Baker Mayfield Patrick Mahomes game. Okay. How many yards rushing did Joe Mixon have that game?
They have to get it on the nose.
Correct.
Wikipedia will come through here, Purple Orca.
How many rushing yards?
Sawchuk is back. Absolutely. He's the guy. Who's coaching linebackers? That would be the new DC, Zac Alley.
Man, y'all are close. A lot of close.
Close but no cigar.
Dalpo, I think, got it 263, I believe, right there. Dalpo, 263.
See if he was first.
By the way, he also had like 114 yards receiving. Guess how many TDs? 5.
Oh, yeah, elite.
Shelby. Everyone wants to talk about Baker Mayfield that game. But
Shelby, we made it actually a pact last night within Sooner Surge that we're not going to talk CG, DG, or JL. But I do think there is a situation with Beatenbow, and that's fine. Leave. We'll get someone else. Whatever.
Wait, who'd you say? You said CG, DG, and JL.
Yeah, Jeff Levy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Mayfield had like 545 yards that game.
Yeah, I mean, hey, how many on here think it's a home run hire? Or how many of you are worried about the hire? I'm saying home run. I'm saying knocked it out of the park. Absolutely.
Oh, okay, but you can't say that. Earlier today, it was Jim Leonard would be a home run. Now you're saying.
Okay.
I think this. I think it's a great hire, and I think he's going to pan out. I do think you do have to still maybe hold a little bit. You don't know. You don't know a whole lot about it. He hasn't coached at a big-time university. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, Mark says Hunter's on here right now. I don't think Jackson's at a basketball thing, isn't he?
Yeah, we've talked about that, Mark, getting 3 or 4 of us.
Hunter, hop on here for a sec. Hunter, hop on here for some.
And Mez is all over the special teams.
Mez is all over the special teams, yeah.
Yeah,
Hunter will come on in a minute. There he is.
Let's see what he does against Josh. Here's the thing. That I think the recruiting aspect of being down south, I think that's a big thing.
Yeah.
He's been recruiting down there for the last 2, 3, 4 years.
Here's the Oz who's usually running the chat. It's Hunter.
Dude, he's kind of like Osby behind the curtain. He's behind the comments. You can barely see his eyes up.
Or Jay Wilson.
I was trying to get the poll started for you guys.
Wilson.
Hey, I got a trivia right now.
Another trivia?
Yep.
Oh, God, let me guess. It's about a TV show or a movie.
Yep. What show was Wilson
dude.
from?
What? What'd you say?
Wilson hides himself. What show is that?
Jeremy, it's such an easy question, dude.
Does Hunter know it?
Probably not. He's too young.
Mark knows
The
it.
only
Now
Wilson.
Poe is again.
Hunter, you're too young for that, aren't you?
Heather's got Home
Have you ever
Improvement.
heard of Home Improvement?
I know the show. I just never watched it.
Hey,
Yeah.
what's the deal? Wait,
Eagles
hey,
are-
Zac Alley.
we're not talking Eagles. Stop.
It
The
was a
hub.
question, Jerm. I was trying to answer it.
Mute him if he's going to talk Eagles. Hey,
The hub. They have not officially hired him, although
Yeah,
it's pretty much
pretty
a done
official.
deal. Zac Alley, 29-year-old home run hire by the University of Oklahoma.
correct.
Home run hire. Jay, when we say home run, is this like a Omar Vizquel home run or a Mark McGuire home run? Is it barely over the fence or is this thing out of the stadium?
To be determined. I think it's a really good hire.
I think it's out of the ballpark.
Again, we need to see it in action before.
See what?
How the defense does with Zac Alley. But I get what you're saying. I think it's
Barry Bonds home run on the juice.
Hey, dude, I got the Barry Bonds shirt on. You guys can't see it, but
Hey, we don't want to get into it. Should Barry Bonds be in the Hall of Fame?
absolutely should be.
Hey, Jet says that he can confirm he will be the guy. Well, I mean, it's not.
He is the guy. It's already official, pretty much.
Pretty much.
It is. I mean,
They're loving these home run comments.
Ichiro home run.
Yeah,
Better than Grinch. I don't know. There's a lot of me who thinks Grinch should have been hired back. I'm just kidding.
Hey, Purple. Hey, if they brought steroids back, I'd watch.
Jay,
all I know is Mark McGuire flipping the bat like a toothpick. I loved it.
Jay, you don't
Jay,
like
toothpick. He just flipped.
He just little toothpick. Loved it.
Okay, let me ask you this: if we're gonna a grand slam, they're saying
he is a BV clone. I'm telling you, go watch Avatar. It's just like it.
He talks.
Hey, again, I'm gonna put BV in a Billy Bean. BV is Billy Bean, and Zac Alley is Avatar. Jay, this is it. Let's make the graphic, guys. BV has come a long way.
We'll see. We'll see next year because I think it is going to be the first year where he's actually a quote head coach on game day, where he's both sides of the ball.
Jay and I were big time baseball card collectors. My best card that I had was Bo Jackson in the football pads with the baseball bat, or the other one. And I'm going to go ahead and don't type it. I'm going to ask a trivia question, Jay.
Another one?
Yeah. There is an error card, baseball card.
What are you doing?
With Billy Ripken.
Don't go there. That's got a bad word on it, Jeremy. You can't
just gave it away. Just gave it away.
Yeah, you can't put that in the chat. Are you kidding?
You can put asterisks. Asterisks.
No, they won't put asterisks. They'll put the actual word, you moron.
They won't know it anyway.
Yeah, they will. Everybody knows that error card.
We'll see. Don't type the word in. Don't type the word in.
Don't type the word in. Just ignore his stupid trivia. I don't know why he's talking about it.
It was
God.
Oh, there Sooner fan gets it. Hey, that card went up to about $13 and then plummeted.
Hey, Johnny, who coaches linebackers? Zac Alley coaches linebackers. Zac Alley.
And he's going to be really, really good. They're all throwing it in, man. They know their baseball cards. Hey, obviously when this happened, Zac Alley was not on the radar. I mean, immediately. Immediately, he wasn't a guy on the radar. But the more and more you read about him, the more and more I watch in his interviews, and it's not just like he's selling something, like he's some kind of salesman who can sell anything. The guy is, to me, I mean, Jacksonville State was what, Hunter? Top 33 on defense, right?
Yeah, and I was actually going to bring this up.
Drop us with some stats.
Tweet from one of the beat writers for Jacksonville State saying obviously a huge loss for them, but the defense was so much better than what the numbers said. Talking about Zac Alley and just what he meant for Jacksonville State. So, again, I mean, I don't think you can say it enough. This is a good hire, I think. I mean, obviously, we're going to have to let it work itself out, but, I mean, that's everything you want in a young guy. Obviously, when you're making a coordinator hire, if you can hire a young guy, that's great. That means they're going to stick around longer if that's what they want to do. And someone who was at Clemson for 8 years with Brent Venables, and just you listen to him talk, he sounds just like him. You watch him in the videos of him coaching, he coaches just like him. I mean, he said it himself, walks, talks just like Brent Venables. I think it's going to be a really good hire for the Sooners.
Hey, I need to get to this Adam comment. Adam, I 100%, 1,000%, 1,000,000% agree. Zac Alley needs to come in there and listen. I know everybody loves Brent Venables' scheme on defense. I'm fine for changing it some. If this guy's got some ideas, throw it out there. Go for it. I think a little mixture of both. I just think you need a guy that's going to challenge BV and two great minds going at it, figuring out what to do. I think that's how you have a great defense right there.
I think there will be that relation,
kind of like
respect
and Mike Stoops.
Yeah, I think there'll be
respect
between the two of them. I mean, I'm sure Brent Venables had disagreements at times with Bob Stoops or Dabo Sweeney.
All the time.
And I think Zac Alley's going to have those, and it will be worked out in a respectful manner. At the end of the day, they both want to win, and I think we're going to see that early on.
Hey, Jay
Moore. I'll say this about Zac Alley. I saw some quotes from him about what style he was going to run at his previous place, and he said that he doesn't like to say I'm going to be a man-to-man or a zone defense. It depends on matchups and everything. So I think you might see a little more mixed in of stuff. I do.
He was at where someone said was he where Dion was.
The staff isn't going anywhere.
No, and what I was going to say, Jay, is first off, someone asked if that's where Dion was.
No, he was at
Jackson State.
Yeah, Jacksonville State's in the Conference USA, I believe.
Yeah, but that was Jackson State. Am I wrong on that?
Yeah, Jackson versus Jacksonville. There it is.
And then what I was going to say is
USA.
What?
They're Conference USA.
What I was going to say is with this hire, I think he went to the staff. Someone said, will he keep the staff? I think the staff probably was excited about this hire. If he had gone out and maybe gotten a Jim Leonhard, maybe people would have been, I don't know if I want to work with that, but they all fit together here. I think that was part of it. And
let me say this. I see people saying, well, Texas lost a lot, Alabama lost a lot, Georgia lost. One thing OU has going for it next year, there's not many teams that brought back the three guys they brought back on defense, experience-wise. There's not many teams out there that say they can bring back guys that have been there 4 or 5 years, okay? And do you think at all that Brent Venables had already talked to Bowman, Stutzman, and Washington about him making this change at all?
I do probably think they had that conversation.
Maybe not about who they were going to hire, but maybe thought.
I don't know, Jay. I don't know. There's no way of knowing. But
yeah, there's no way.
Quentin's not going to get on here probably. Hey, D. Moore, I think he's a really good recruiter. I'd go after listening to him, but there was a comment I wanted to get to, and I can't find it. It was from someone I haven't seen on here before. It was like Pataway, Potonin County. Maybe Hunter can find it. But it was an interesting take, and I was going to refer to it, but I can't find it. Remember the Beckett magazines? Oh, yeah, Beckett magazine, man. That was elite. Great.
Yeah, Mess, that's a good point, but the reality was he was up there in the booth and was making some.
There it is. Pottawatomie County Sooner has what I like about this comment is
that's a great comment.
The Ted Roof hire, no potential for home run. because everyone was going to say it was BV anyway. He was kind of like a lame duck anyway. This, I
Bad
think,
hire.
I'm going to say this is a home run hire, and it's not just the potential for one, for sure, but for sure the potential for one. If it's not, I mean, it's got a chance. And the other thing is, so now listen to this, Sooner fans. You get to go to the SEC. Is that exciting? Yes. But not only do you get to go to the SEC next year, look at the schedule you're playing. Is that exciting? Absolutely. Not only do you have that schedule, you get to go there with JFA, Jackson Arnold as your quarterback. Is that exciting? Absolutely. You're going there with the new OC, and now you got a young DC, 29 years old. Your OC is a guy from the Kevin Costner movie, Yellowstone. Just tough dude coming down the alley. I mean, everything about this team stepping into SEC land is excitement. Maybe I'm just too excited. I don't know.
You're pretty excited. We got a long way till first game kickoff. But here's the thing with Zac Alley too is
Zac Alley, Clark. Zac Alley.
Zac Alley can come to OU, and if the defense gets really good, he can kind of have his name on that because they've gotten better, but they still have not gotten to the level where OU defense needs to be. And if he can help get him there, he's going to just go skyrocket up the coaching ranks. I mean, I could see him being, and I said it earlier, kind of like a Dan Lanning under Kirby Smart. Yeah. Dan Lanning coached under Kirby Smart, and his first gig was Oregon. Okay? Same thing could happen with a guy like this. If you come in and do really well, you could go to a big-time school. That's why I was still kind of surprised that Jeff Levy went to Mississippi State. Whatever.
I agree with you, Adam George. That's what I was saying earlier. I agree with you. Yeah, Ben Belcher. This is exactly right. This is about the culture, dynasty building. It's done right. It's almost like a farm system that is built to then come into the major leagues. And again, I'm going to say Billy Beane. I think this is a Billy Beane analogy all over. You know who Zac Alley is, Jay?
What?
Pete. He's Pete in the movie Moneyball. What's that guy's name?
Jonah? Jonas Hill? Jonah
That's
Hill?
who he is in Moneyball.
Jonah Hill?
That's exactly. That's Zac Alley.
Time will tell. I mean, where would you rank him as far as Venables and Zac Alley if you went for a sports football movie? Who's the comparison?
Well, you can't go remember the Titans because the defensive coordinator on that staff had already been a head coach and won tons of
Correct.
games. It can't be that one. Man. Are you thinking of one, Jay?
I don't have one off the top of my head. I have to think about it. Hey, he's not a clown. Sorry.
He's not a clown. He did cost them one game against Washington for sure. He's ripped from Yellowstone.
Whatever. I haven't watched Yellowstone.
I'm sure he must be talking about Seth Luttrell.
Yeah, correct, Josh McElhaney. This is correct. Never a long-term hire. He was brought in to get BB system in place. He did his job. You could say that. He did kind of help the transition, okay? And I think nobody thought Ted Roof would be going to the SEC as the DC. So when he gets hired. So I think it's the time. I mean,
hey, time pause. What is your Bo Jackson issue?
What Bo Jackson issue could you have? The guy's a stud.
The guy probably, likely, very easily, arguably could be the best athlete of all time. What is a homework before tomorrow's live?
Homework before tomorrow's live will be a game changer for you two.
He's talking about Yellowstone. I don't have time to.
I don't have time to sit and binge watch.
I'm on a live for an hour and 15. Yeah, exactly. Hey, exactly, Sooner Blood. That's my issue too. He's superhuman.
There's nobody on planet Earth that's done what he's done. Nobody.
No. And hey, Richard.
In two sports.
Richard is a Sooner Surge Unlimited member. Appreciate you, Richard. $4.99 a month. Get after it. It's on the chat if you want to do that. I think they have to be looking at a JC guy. I would love it. One of their best players on the team this year was a junior college guy last year, Kendall Dobie.
Zac Alley does have a Hunter Scallon look. Who is Hunter Scallon? Is that from Yellowstone? Hey, I don't know. It might be.
I think
Maybe
he's saying the guy from Michigan that cheated.
Hunter Scout. Oh,
That's what
okay.
he's saying.
Hunter Scout Italians. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
It
Marvin's
was
men
Todd
made
Graham.
all
It
pro.
was Todd Graham. I'm going to give you a name from TU, Laura. Keith Burns.
Oh gosh.
Keith Burns.
Yeah, Connor Stallions. That's it. We're not.
Connor Stallion's a Michigan spy. This dude's not a spy.
Bo didn't run a 4.2. He probably ran a 4.1. I mean,
Isaiah Coe was too.
Jeremy
Ramondre Stevenson was.
Hey, here's a question I have. We saw today Alan Bowman got his 15th year of eligibility. He's now playing alongside Perry Ellis from Kansas, okay? But he got his 7th year. Why have we not heard anything on Harrington yet? What's the deal?
I would think it'd be in the next 2 days.
Surely that means Harrington's probably going to get his too.
Oh, wait. Jet says he did.
Did he get it officially, Jay? Is it done?
I thought I had seen something that it was supposed to come in, but
I hadn't heard yet. If he did, that's even better.
I didn't see it as official.
Mark, Dion cannot hold Bo Jackson's jocks.
Now, Jay, I will say what Dion did in the World Series and at Atlanta was great. That was great, flying back and forth. He's not the athlete that Bo Jackson is.
Who was a better football player?
Oh, Bo Jackson was a better.
Deion Sanders was a really good football.
Allen, there he is. Allen. Michael, the Tarquin smoke. Hunter dropped it in the chat earlier. Tarquin's mom changed her profile picture on Twitter to OU. It looks like that could really be a done deal. If not tonight, early tomorrow.
Yeah. Bo didn't have the longevity. That's the problem with football. He didn't play that long. But baseball, the guy was unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Have you seen the 30 for 30 on Bo Jackson? It's so good.
Oh, what 30 for 30 isn't good?
Well, I agree.
And this is a good point, Hunter. I would agree with that comment.
Well, yeah, Bo's teams never got there. It wasn't his fault. Now, the All-Star game Bo played in was unbelievable.
Can you name the pitcher he hit the leadoff home run against?
Listen. I can't.
I think it was Rick Russell.
Hey, listen. The Tarquin guy played at Florida first. Correct me if I'm wrong, Hunter. He played at Florida first, and then he went to USC. He was at USC this last year. Drop his size in here for us, Hunter. He's a big dude. He was pretty highly recruited into Florida.
Speaking of, what is USC going to do with quarterback?
No clue.
Well, they may have their quarterback, Miller Moss.
Miller Moss, probably. We visited Yellowstone in probably 1989.
And I'm going to say probably a thing that people are going to hate on here.
6'5", 300 for Tarquin, CE.
Wow, that's a big dude. I'm going to say something that's people are probably going to disagree with. Old Faithful is one of the most overrated natural wonders or whatever. I mean, you go there and stand, and within minutes, it's gone.
Yeah, it's pretty overrated. Hey, Richard, is this a trivia question? Jay, do you know the answer?
What is it? Who hit a major league homer and scored an NFL touchdown in the same week?
I think it's Brian Jordan or Deion Sanders, but I thought it was maybe a trick question. Didn't Brian Jordan also play both sports?
Possibly.
I think Brian Jordan did.
Brian Jordan played both sports. Did he play football?
I thought he did, Jay. I'm almost positive.
It was probably Deion. Yeah, Deion.
But someone correct me on Brian Jordan. I thought he did.
Name the baseball player who's responsible for creating free agency in MLB. I would just guess probably. I'd probably say Bobby Bonilla, but it's not right.
He's the smartest one.
He's still getting paid.
Oh, yeah.
So,
hey, if OU lands Tarquin tomorrow,
Kurt Love.
If OU lands Tarquin tomorrow, that means they've got 3 O-linemen from the portal.
Correct.
And they're all big
what
dudes.
You wanted.
And they're all big dudes. That's exactly what I would say.
So you don't think they're going to get anybody else other than an O lineman, though? You don't think another defensive guy? What's up with Scorton, Jeremy?
He went to A&M. He stayed close to home, Jay.
They offered him, and he took it. He didn't go after the highest bidder.
No, he didn't. I guess home was too much.
A&M kind of owns OU in recruiting.
Well, yeah, but they don't own him on the field.
Like I'm just saying, when you look at guys, that if it's between OU and A&M, OU doesn't usually get him. Am I wrong?
No, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right, Jay. You were right, Jay. You were right, Jay. You were right, Jay. You were right, Jay. You happy?
Broken record. Hey,
Cool.
So tomorrow, you think we'll see anybody other Hunter? Can we see any more names in the portal tomorrow, or is today the last day? 2 days after the last day to file.
Are you saying can guys' names be announced that they're in the portal?
They can be, especially Alabama. The playoff teams can be, I believe. Yes, there it is. For New Year's 6 and CFP teams. Yeah, Jackson. Love the hire, man.
Yeah, Jackson loves it. Look, I think OU probably, Alley Cats Strike. It's a great Disney movie. It's a bowling movie, Jay.
Never heard of it.
They spin the ball and then push it down the lane. Oh, it gets me every time.
The bowling movie.
Alley Cat Strike.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah. We got about 10 minutes on here, guys. What else we want to talk about? Jinx likes the 9 p.m. start. Will it continue? Look, 9:30 is our usual time. We started early tonight because we just wanted to there's a lot to talk about, a lot to cover.
Yeah, we can do 9 sometimes, but
really wanted to get your guys' take on everything because we like to try to get to all the comments. Again, sometimes maybe we'll go 9. It just depends on what we got going on.
Jerm, did you reach out to Jalil or not?
No, I couldn't get a hold of him, Jay. I tried to, but he dropped the call.
Wow.
What?
Was that supposed to be a joke?
Absolutely, it was a joke. He dropped the call. Kept fumbling for it, couldn't find it, and by then I hung up.
Wow. Who you got on the Natty? I'm going Washington.
I'm going Michigan.
There you go. And I want Washington to win, is why I'm probably picking them. Here's the thing. My only concern is I don't know if Washington can stop Blake Corum. But here's what I'll say. If Washington gets a lead 10 to 14 points, game's over.
Yeah, Michigan's not a comeback team. Agreed. If Michigan takes care of the ball, though, and controls the clock, Michigan's winning. And, Jay, think about this. Jim Harbaugh and John Harbaugh both could be champions very easily.
Yeah, and if Jim Harbaugh wins it, he's going NFL, right?
Best – if he may be – why? He may be at Michigan the rest of his career, dude.
Why would you want to stay in college when you could go coach half the time in NFL?
Because it's
not
one of the best ever.
Work, dude. It's not as
Jay,
much work.
Has there ever been a better coaching brother duo besides me and you in the Upwards Flag Football League?
Oh, the Upwards Flag Football, our teams never lost.
I remember the Jericho play was unreal. Trick play that we ran.
Hey, a brother duo coaching. I don't know. I'm trying to think of. You could say the Ryan brothers, but they weren't nearly as good.
The Ryan brothers were good. Now that was good father-son too, because Buddy Ryan. You also had the Hurley brothers in basketball. They're not elite.
Yeah.
What other? Yeah, I'm trying to think any other ones, but
hey, this Sammy Brown would be amazing, Ryan, if they could. I mean, they got to get some linebackers this year. 25. Got to.
Well, I think this hire helps.
Oh, Stoops brothers, Jeremy.
Oh, duh. What are we doing here?
But still, has Mike hasn't been. You can't
Sammy
say better than Jim Harbaugh.
As Hunter said, Sammy has signed at Clemson.
I think the guy was saying eventually, like, transfer or something. But there you have it.
There you have it. Well, guys, that's an hour and 10 minutes, Jay. Hey,
yeah.
I want to say I want to say thanks to the viewers.
Yeah, appreciate it.
You rocked it tonight. Had some great conversation. You guys brought up some Rondé and Tiki Barber. There you go, Chief Teamer. Some great points tonight because you guys rock. Appreciate you all. Tanya, thanks for the $9.99 supers. We do have the supers turned on. There it is, Tanya. Thanks so much. Thanks for all of you guys being on here. Hunter did drop the right there. It is the $4.99 a month. You get some videos early, some other things that is in the works for this new year. But we appreciate you guys all and gals so much,
Jeremy.
So much. Oh, update on Dad.
Wait, why are you yelling so much? Bagman wants to know. He just joined.
Who?
Says the guy on the right. Why are you yelling so much? Apparently he hasn't.
Our viewers know I yell all the time. That's what I do. You need to join it more often. Yeah. That's all I do. Okay. Dad is doing. He's in therapy. He's getting therapy with his speech, with his swallowing, with his movement.
Moving.
It's difficult. It's very difficult. 3 hours a day for him to do that. His body is drained. But we do trust. We trust in God's sovereignty. Appreciate your prayers for that. Thanks so much. And I like yelling and you like yelling. So guess what? I'm going to keep yelling because tonight, the University of Oklahoma, Brent Venables hit one out of the park. A grand salami. Okay. Billy Bean himself. What a great hire, I think. And Zac Alley. And I can't wait.
I agree.
For Zac Alley to be announced and to hear him in a presser.
I'm ready to hear him talk.
I am ready as well.
Hey, so appreciate you guys as always. And hey, we'll let you know if we ever go early again like this, but we had to go early just to talk a little bit longer about what's been going on today. It's been a wild day when we thought it might not be much sports news going on in the OU Sooner world, and there was a lot. So
that's right. Minor brothers were great as well. Great athletes. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks for the prayers. Till next time, guys and gals. Boomer.
Sooner.